Hello and welcome to Good Game, the show for gamers, by gamers. I'm Bajo.
And I'm Junglist. This week is big.
Go ahead, sleep that off, punk.
Defjam Icon has reviewed the hip-hop fighter and Lord of the Rings Online. Will it be the one MMO to rule them all, or should we send it back to the fiery chasm from whence it came?
The Nerds FC stopped by for a massive 4-game nerdathon. Can Good Game out-nerd the nerds?
Out-Hoiven the Mavens?
Out-Dexter the Poindexters?
You'll find out soon. First, here's Gamers.
Yes.
Good game.
Vivendi have announced Geometry Wars Galaxies is in development for Nintendo Wii and DS. The original Geometry Wars was a minigame created by Bizarre Creations as a part of Project Gotham Racing 2 for the Xbox. It gained new popularity thanks to Xbox Live subscribers who at one time made updated version Retro Evolve the most popular downloaded game. Geometry Wars Galaxies is due for release in autumn 2007. And in more Wii news, Nintendo have announced that Australian sales have doubled to almost $140 million over the past year, largely thanks to the success of the Wii. Australians have bought nearly 80,000 of the consoles, with almost half of those being sold in the first 4 days of its release in December last year.
20th Century Fox have purchased the film rights to The Sims from Electronic Arts. The Sims is the best-selling PC game in history, with over 85 million copies of the game being sold. The film has yet to be cast, but will be live action. And in other game movie news, Warren Spector, the developer of Deus Ex, and movie director John Woo are working on a project called Ninja Gold, in which a film and a game will be produced alongside each other. It will involve traditional ninjas in a modern-day setting. The release date is still to be announced.
Good game.
Greetings, Dexters. Here's another godlike game from yesteryear. Can you remember what it was called? Answer at the end of the show. And the winner of the best review of the week goes to...
Good game.
You look so familiar. I know you.
I'll tell you what, why don't you take my number and give me a call when you figure it out?
I'll most definitely do that.
What? Hey, it's the king to cry.
Hey John,
What?
you still playing Def Jam?
Yes.
Well, hurry up, it's time for the review.
Okay.
Defjam Icon is hip-hop's answer to Fight Night. In fact, it's made by the same developers. Instead of boxers, you've got rappers, and supposedly music is your weapon.
Protect your neck.
Last in the series was Def Jam Vendetta. In this version, you had rage attacks, and members of the crowd could pass you wrenches or other weapons. Fans of the series will be disappointed to know they've taken these features out.
Instead, Icon has a whole new twist on it. Parts of each level contain hazards which you throw your enemy into. Then rotate your control stick to mix your music into it, and that activates the hazard to thrash your opponent.
Each fighter also has his own song. Whoever's track is playing during the fight receives a damage bonus. If you get a chance, you can mix the track into yours by using the control sticks as turntables.
Ain't no more fun in games.
Extra damage is also given for timing your attacks to the beat.
And that's where the innovation ends with Icon. Hidden under the urban themes is a shallow combat system based on the Fight Night engine. And just like with Def Jam Vendetta, which was based on the WWF engine, the code really holds it back. It spent more time on the clothes, I think, than the actual fighting system, John.
Battles are dominated by hazards. A successful block gives you enough time to throw your enemy into a hazard, scratch so you can set the hazard off, which gives you enough time to mix in your track. When he stands up, you rinse and repeat. 100% of your time will be devoted to knocking enemies into hazards because it yields by far the most reward.
And this gets especially annoying in single player. For some reason, the first half of the fight is fairly easy. Then all of a sudden they wake up and they start perfectly timing their flawless throws, and it's very frustrating, but you have to do it, Jung, otherwise you can't unlock the new songs and the new rappers.
Single-player frustrations don't stop there. Load times are way too long. Getting up off the ground is too long. And on the whole, each fight takes too long.
Aside from the mechanical flaws, Icon is easy on the eyes and easy on the ears.
Well, easy on our ears. Parents might find 29 uncensored rap tracks a bit distasteful.
Hip-hop fans will love the music, and the visuals are definitely the best part of the game. They didn't do the standard let's just make the graphics look better for next gen. The level backgrounds and menus are inspired.
Absolutely, and no health bars keep the screen uncluttered. We should point out that while we're reviewing the PS3 version, the 360 version also has a feature that lets you load your own tracks into the system, and it automatically detects when the hazard should go off.
Sounds interesting. It seems to me you'll either love or hate this one, John.
Yeah, it's a great game to play with mates, but if you're looking for a fighter with depth, keep looking. Whether it makes you want to throw down or throw up, top dollar is a bit too much to charge for such a basic combat system. I'm giving it 6 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Once I fully understood the fighting system, I felt like giving this a 4. The lack of tutorial forces you to dive headfirst into very shallow waters, but it still presents some good ideas. The stylized visuals and the multiplayer saved it for me. I'm giving it 6 out of 10. You really don't want to play this one by yourself.
Go ahead, sleep that off, punk.
Once again, gamers, it's showdown time.
That's right, and this week it's the fastest character of all time.
And look, we all know who the winner is. He got the most votes on the forums, but for the sake of tradition, we're going to go through the motions.
Nick thought that the last alien from Space Invaders was pretty fast. Once he shot all the aliens, it was like...
Leisure Suit Larry was pretty fast, if you know what I mean.
Get back to your place quick.
I'm too sexy for my car.
Yes! You hot hunk of man!
The alien from Alien vs. Predator had quick claws and sharp jaws.
Every character in Dragon Ball Z got a mention. In fact, it's a pretty fast game all around, John.
Lee Crew from CS also got a mention from back in the days of speed hacking and OGC.
And Liu Kang from the Mortal Kombat series not only had a hilarious bicycle kick battle cry, but was one of the fastest fighters around.
That's why I choose the Bruce Lee clone in every fighting game.
And now the moment we've all been waiting for. Jung, please announce the winner. And I swear, if you make any sort of reference to Desperate Housewives, I'm taking a picture of you with a caption saying, "Do not sell StarCraft 2 to this man," to every game store in town.
Well, look, discounting characters tied to vehicles such as Captain Falcon from F-Zero, Anakin and his pod racer and the supercars from Burnout, of course, it's Sonic!
The gamers have spoken. Sonic is the fastest game character of all time. What would you do if you wanted to develop an MMO that could possibly take on the one game that rules them all? Well, in terms of gamers playing, anyway.
You set it in Middle-earth and you call it Lord of the Rings Online Shadows of Angmar. Maybe it's the long name, maybe it's the fact that it's the prettiest MMO that we've seen to date, but gamers all over the world are crawling out of their hobbit holes to contribute to the third age of Middle-earth.
Our worst fears have come to pass. The One Ring has revealed itself, and as the Fellowship prepares for its perilous journey to Mount Doom, the shadow of Sauron stretches forth to reclaim it.
Servers are quite populated, and somehow they've managed to hit the sweet spot. Wait times are low, and lag is even lower. We should point out as well, while there's no real lag issues, there's no oceanic servers as well.
Being an MMO, obviously we've only had time to scratch the surface of this one, but there are some questions that need answering. First up, is it true to the books?
Yes, the story, characters, architecture, themes, they're all Tolkien's. It's good that they stayed true on this one, because it could have been a deal breaker.
Is it a grind fest?
It depends on how you look at it. There are your typical MMO grind quests like kill 8 spiders, find 6 pickaxes, blah blah blah. But overall, handing in quests yields much more XP, so the gameplay will be focused on that.
I know you can only choose to be on the side of good. What's the deal with that? Where's the PvP?
There are no persistent bad guys. Once you're level 10, you can join a battleground as a orc or a urukai or whatever. These are just fun distractions though, they don't have any permanent rewards.
Yeah, the battlegrounds are quite fun, but I don't know, I think the fact that it's mainly a PvE-based game might alienate some players.
The true Guardian stands to the forefront of battle, shielding his allies from the blows of their enemies.
Do you think it'll be able to compete with WoW?
Well, competing with WoW is a really big call, but this one's not going anywhere for a while. For such a huge game, it had a really smooth launch, and that's mainly due to a lengthy beta process.
It takes a lot from WoW as well, and improves on it. Things like the auction house, the party system, the interface. It's a lot better, and so it should be.
There's already quite a mature online community circling Lord of the Rings. You gotta ask yourself, is it worth giving up your level 70 gnome warrior?
I should point out as well, there's no more health bars in this game. They switched it with morale. Instead of healing for hit points, anything that encourages you raises your morale.
Yeah, that seems a bit pansy to me. I mean, it looks like a health bar, it acts like a health bar. Call it a health bar.
Along with morale, there's a hope and dread system. Things like being defeated, walking into an evil area like Angmar, being around an evil character like a ring wraith, these all have negative effects on your character and inflict it with dread.
Likewise, if you're in a town like Riverdale or someone like Legolas is with you, it inspires hope and has positive effects on your character.
There's a strong hope and dread theme throughout the Lord of the Rings books, and they've done a good job of capturing this as a game mechanic.
You've pretty much got your run-of-the-mill class system, and most ability sets revolve around partying as opposed to solo questing. There are some variations though.
Like the minstrel, who needs to continue through several ballads before getting to his more powerful abilities.
And the Lawmaster is a bit of a mixed bag. He can stun enemies as well as summoning pets, so most of his solo questing revolves around threat management and bouncing your enemy between you and your pet.
Other than the PvP, this is the game's only other major flaw. You're very limited by what class you choose. It's very much a game about starting a fellowship to take on the evils of Middle-earth.
What happens if you roll a tank, you get to level 50 and you get sick of tanking? There's no talent trees, so your role is pretty much set in stone.
But having said that, the party system is refined. Most classes have fellowship-only abilities, and parties can do things called conjunctions, which are huge attacks and represent the team working together to pull off a great combo.
In-game, these are represented by 4 different colours, which you pick as your character gets into position. Different combinations and sequences yield different results. The harder ones take planning and practice.
Conjunctions serve their purpose as a way to allow skilled parties to become greater than the sum of their parts.
I can see that having a good group of mates to play with that you trust is a real plus in this game.
There were creative quests, such as being forced to carry a bucket of water through a forest of enemies unable to attack. There was also one where a party member had to wave a torch in front of a ring wraith to scare it away with fire, while the rest of the party did their business.
Food plays an important part as well. A well-fed character will have more chance of survival.
Crafting is quite in-depth, and the system ensures that no one can do everything. You'll be forced to engage in trade to get the materials that you need.
Enemies are arranged intelligently. That forces you to think about how you approach them. There are some kinks in geography though. For example, elves and dwarves can't access PvP in the early stages of the game.
Speaking of geography, the land extends all the way from arid Lewin to the Misty Mountains. As you explore, you'll be presented with different deeds. If you complete these deeds, you can get some permanent bonuses or titles such as Junglist Wolf Tamer.
These titles are for vanity more than anything else, but they do give you that little bit extra customization.
Players even commented to us that they would run to the top of a mountain just to see the surrounding terrain.
Yeah, and come to think of it, I didn't even look at my XP bar that much, John. Final thoughts?
Lord of the Rings doesn't bring much new to the table, rather it takes old MMO conventions and makes them better. It's very much a game about forming a fellowship and beating the odds with good teamwork. I'm more of a player versus player guy, but I enjoyed every minute I was in Lord of the Rings. I'm giving it 9 out of 10 rubber chickens for second breakfast.
It's up to you if you want to give up your level 70 gnome warrior, but I agree with you about the nature of the game, Jung. It's individual rewards, but mainly PvE based. You know, it's got a strong online community. I'm giving it 9 out of 10 rubber chickens as well.
Hey Kevin, have you been going through my desk?
Wild accusations! How dare you! Incriminations, allegations, treachery!
Hey, I only asked
Okay, fine, I ate all your breath mints. All gone. Minty fresh. Yum, yum, yum.
No, dude, those are my caffeine pills. Did you eat the whole packet all at once? Are you feeling okay?
I feel fine. Why would you have caffeine pills anyway? Are you a trucker? Cramming for finals? Are you back at school? Huh? Are you keeping a secret life? Huh? What else have you been hiding? What's your real name?
Man, I needed those to get through my 3-night LAN party this weekend. You suck.
Aha! See, it's pill-popping punks like you that prevent the preservation of the purity of gaming. Alliteration rules. You caffeine-cramming cretins make us all look crappy. You're nothing more than a cheater. Biological cheaters. Body hacks. Popping your perky pills. Pee-pee-popping, punky-popping pillars. Pew-pew-pew.
But
You know what's wrong with game publishers, do you? Huh? They blame their stupid high prices on piracy. That's a self-defeating argument. The more they try and change to make up for what the pirates steal, the more people are pushed to pirate because they want to play the games, but they can't afford them as easily anymore, and the honest people are being punished for the dishonest people's actions. But if the games were cheaper, then more people would be able to afford the games and wouldn't bother pirating them, so the companies sell more, and then they'd sell even more because the poor but honest people who would normally hold out for the bargain price platinum editions would buy sooner at the higher margin price, and everybody wins. But no, the publishers are too stupid to see the simple logic in charging a fairer price. You know why? Because they're all part of a conspiracy, man. man. It's all under control of the secret moon communists from northern Greenland, those damned red Eskimos and their secret atomic tobacco doodle. Toby, what does a cardiac arrest feel like?
Kevin, in case you don't survive the skull-crushing caffeine crash you're about to experience, I want you to know, I'm taking money from your wallet so I can replace the caffeine pills. And if you do survive, I'm coming back and playing Guitar Hero as loud as I can until your head bursts as punishment for being such a douche.
If symptoms persist, please see your doctor.
La la la, so you think you can't game.
EXE3 from the forums has asked for a bit of help with Company of Heroes, an RTS on the PC. So I'm going to give a quick little tip which can help both Axis and allied players. On a lot of maps you'll find hedgerows which act as natural barriers to your troops. If used in conjunction with barbed wire, this can often get your troops into ambushes or choke points, not a nice thing at all. But until you get tanks to bulldoze through the hedgerows, there's no way through. Or is there? Get an engineer or a pioneer unit to lay a mine next to the hedgerow. Then, take a few steps back and get a unit to attack ground over the mine. The mine will blow up and leave a nice little hole in the hedgerow for your units to go through. This can be used early in the game and you should be able to catch your enemy with their pants down. Hope this helps you out, EXE3. Now to this week's challenge. All the single player maps have secondary objectives, which, if achieved, will get you a shiny new medal. Some are easy to get, but some are hard. One tricky one is on the map Carrington Counterattack. So what I want you to do is go and see if you can get that medal and write up how you do it and post it up on the forums. Until next time, this is Aya reporting out.
Good game.
Hey, Jung, ever notice how it's now cool to be an extreme nerd?
Yeah, and a soccer playing nerd, that's like the ultimate.
I just wonder how nerdy they really are, though.
Not as nerdy as us, old friend.
Do you think we could out-nerd the nerds?
Out Hoyven the Mavens?
Out-Dexter the Poindexters?
Ruffle Cup time!
Belugi McBoy, you ready to do this?
Let's get it on.
Dead or Alive 4, let's go!
Get ready! Fight! Let's go! Round 2. Get ready! Fight! Oh, nice, nice.
Ah, well, bad luck, man.
Yeah. Good
This
game.
one goes to good game. Let's see how the others go.
All right, Tom. Challenge accepted. Are you ready to flex your Farnham?
Consider your fun and flex.
Okay, let's get into it.
We have the chance to turn the pages over. We can write what we want to write. We gotta make ends meet before we get much older. We're all someone's daughter. We're all someone's son. How long can
Well, the scores have it, Som. Well done. You've crushed me.
Not doing too bad yourself.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Let's see how the other guys go.
I get to keep the jacket, though.
Oh.
Alrighty, good luck, Leather.
Who needs luck?
3, 2, 1, go! Hey!
That egg's still on the top.
Well, man, you smashed me. Well done.
You tried your best. That's all that matters.
Alright, so this is the last game. So good luck.
You too, man.
Alright,
Let's
do it.
go.
Both players have sold their refineries, and it looks like they're going for the Nod Tank Rush. This is going to get interesting with both players using the same strat. Expect lots of hot tank-on-tank action, folks. Aya has quickly started to pump out some Scorpions. The Nerd is countering with his own Scorpions, and they're on their way to the good game base. Up in the corner of the map, Aya is taking out the Nerd's refinery, and his harvesters are fleeing. Here we go, the first major engagement. The Nerd Scorpion's trying to smash into Aya's base. Aya is trying a flanking maneuver with some shadow troops. Oh no, one of the harvesters has run them over! That's such bad luck. He was about to do some serious damage, and now the Nerd is in his base killing his harvesters. This is now a battle of attrition, and Aya counterattacks. His forces are pushing into the Nerd's base.
The Scorpion's ready.
The good game side is attacking from both sides. He's got Scorpions behind his opponent's base. The Nerd obviously expects a back attack. He's built some turrets back there. This is desperate defense from the Nerd, but he seems to have a critical mass of tanks in his base despite being sandwiched. Aya's forces are being decimated. This is the Nerd's chance. He has to attack before the good game team can build up again. And here he comes, a wave of Scorpions into Aya's base this time.
The Scorpion's ready.
There's more Nerd forces on the way, but it already seems that Aya's side is on the ropes. He can't hold out long against this sustained assault. That's the end, and it's defeat to the good game team.
Well, Nerds FC win the Ruffle Cup Olympics 3-1. It all came down to the Nod Tank Rush and CNC3 in the end. I'll see you on the soccer field next time, guys. Good game.
For sure.
But you said you could sing.
I can sing, just not as good as him.
You're gonna have to drink from the noob cup.
I don't want to drink from the noob cup.
Drink from the noob cup.
I don't want to drink from the noob cup.
Well, it was close, I'll give you that. Mine, not so close.
Well, gamers, did you guess the game for this week? It was Populous, released in 1989 by Bullfrog on Amiga, Atari ST, and PC. It used divine intervention to defeat your foes.
You could have used a bit of that in SingStar.
Yeah, probably.
Next week, we'll be strumming out some 80s tunes with the latest Guitar Hero.
And old school meets next gen as we accept a Ruffle Cup challenge from some of Australia's senior citizens.
Plus our usual news, reviews, Eye on the Duck.
Jung, aren't you forgetting something?
Yeah, the following people knifed me in the good game Counter-Strike Knife Night. Prings was the first to get me. Well done there, Prings. And Matsky. Good job. How about you, Badger?
Samuel's got me twice. Well done, my friend. Good game shirt on the way to you.
For more info on GG community events, hit our forums.
Same time next week, gamers. Bajo out.
Junglist out.